Good morning.
Question for you.
Well, I'll make up an answer, and it
I
might
wanna
be
make
no,
sure.
and it might be I don't know. Those are answers for me too.
He was down a lot last night, apparently. He seemed this morning a little funky,
Yeah.
and he's pretty.
Both
His front
feet
feet.
are very upright. Is that?
What is your true opinion about that?
Oh,
I'm the one that.
he needs some care. I mean, he just hasn't been able to been cared for, right? Because he's still like
But we're
at
talking
that point.
Should I shoot
long.
out of this?
Oh, long term. Oh,
Shoot
Yeah,
out of
I
this?
mean,
Can
what
we
do you-
trim out of this?
well,
Or is
I'm
it-
not the
I'm not the vet either.
I'm not the guy to say
Just
all of
what
that.
your
But
opinions is
yes,
what we want.
yes, absolutely. I mean, what a year old or whatever they are. I mean, there's a lot of development's got to happen here in the next 3 years. So having
The
good
stomach
care,
that I'm
whatever that
concerned
is.
about. I think the stomach's bugging.
Probably, because this has been a huge, stressful, neurochemical experience of a lot of cortisol, lots of stress and worry. He's, he's kind of internal about it, like just kind of like lethargic, like kind of
Yeah, he's
shut
just
down
low
about
now.
it.
Yeah,
And so, yeah, and I think they just kind of do that out of a sense of, hey, I don't want to be the loud one making all the noise. I'm freaking scared to death. I don't know one of these predators going to jump the fence, and so it's just like let me just blend in and be quiet.
yeah.
But
See, I have a little mule, and so I'm not interested in.
yeah,
She likes dogs.
yeah. I think they're gonna.
But he's the one I've been looking
Yeah, I mean, heck yeah, and whatever stomach or whatever, it's like Christmas. You don't know what you got till you unwrap it. There's a lot of unwrapping that needs to be done, and then a lot of building. You'll have the horse that you build, is what I tell my clients.
Yeah, I just don't. Physical stuff is what I'm concerned about.
How you gonna know though? I mean, unless you some scans, or I mean, you're gonna, so you don't know. But he could absolutely be very.
The front feet are kind of a.
They're standing up. Yeah, he needs some farrier work. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got a. There's still lots of growing to do, and for sure. I mean, if he just come off the range, his feet would probably be great, but he's been in holding, obviously, or his feet would be wore down some. So. I should probably go get that microphone.
Took a picture, but he hasn't.
Extreme wide range. He's going to be, like I said, towards the flag. He's wearing the black hat. Guys want to make your way towards that way. Wileen Wilson grew up in Arizona. And she grew up riding any and every horse that came through her mother's boarding facility. She took every opportunity she could to work and learn from problem horses.
Well, if you're here for me, come and sit down and we'll chat and work and talk. And I don't think I'll go get that microphone because everybody that wants to listen will be sitting right here. But I'll wait till he gets done announcing and then I'll talk a little more.
And that deals wild Mustang millionaire. Three-part shooter, which she was able to showcase her training style. She's also been a three-time winner of the Mustang Makeover Championship. She's been on the show 14 times, and just great to have her here. Great friend of mine. So without further ado, I gotta get this microphone over to my boy Wes.
Thank you, Kai.
So moving along, I just want to thank you everybody for coming. On a side note, we got some prescription glasses that were left. They're up at the top of it if you lost your glasses. We also have wildflower donuts here. We're doing bagels, dogs, pretzels. If you're hungry, head over to the south side of the barn. That's where they're located. That is West Taylor. I got some microphones.
Thank you, Kai.
All right, I found my man his sound card, Jeffrey Gasly, all right? He's doing live sound and production, private karaoke events, structured wiring, engineering and installation, home cinema design and engineering, and consumer electronics sales. Jeffrey Gasly, he's doing it all. He's providing the sound today. If you have any questions, come box in. You got your mic on, bud?
Let's see, am I on? Am I on? Test 1, 2.
I'm handing it off.
All right.
We got Wes and Wally. Come on down. Make yourself, bud.
Welcome, welcome. If you're coming over here to hang out and watch and talk with me, we're going to play around with this little yearling here and just work on some attention, getting him to be attentive to me. And so what body language might I be looking for my horse to be attentive? Any thoughts? Ears forward, might be turning looking at me. All right. What else? 2 eyes. Yeah, I'm really watching the eyes right now. Like I'm really watching where his eyes are. So when his eyes come to me, when he puts his attention or his awareness towards and onto me, I'm just going to offer a release, meaning the pressure is going to stop or pause at that moment. I'm wanting him to get the belief, I'm wanting him to feel that when he's attentive, the pressure that's causing him to upregulate or to stress and worry will subside or will pause if he'll be attentive to it. Wouldn't that be a pretty cool tool when you're out trail riding and the big scary thing's moving across the pasture or whatever and your horse is like, let me just be attentive and put my awareness on that and see if I'm okay. And so getting him to where awareness or his attention is what he's looking for, to be attentive or aware with the human, with the handler. So I want him to be attentive. So I'm just going to apply some pressure. You're going to see me maybe moving my hands around. I might move the rope a little bit, like I'm just trying to apply enough pressure that his attention will turn and look at me. And I just want to start with that. And when I get enough attention, he'll start walking towards me. He'll start wanting to be attentive to me and want to be with me. So I'm going to start to build that a little bit. So I'll just kind of watch his eyes. And so I'll approach. Woo, right there, he already turned his head a little bit. There's the first release. So I want to just get him laser focused on me is what I want to start getting his attention. So I'm just watching his eyes. I'm just trying to draw some awareness, like right there. And then I want to just withdraw and let him approach. Now he's leaving, so the pressure will come back. And I'm just going to come in and be just creating some sight, right? I'm just using some sight, maybe a little bit of sound. And then when he's attentive to me, I want to release. I want to start building his confidence that looking at me, being attentive to me, feels good, that's a release. So we're changing his neurochemistry from here's pressure, stress, fight, flight, cortisol, maybe adrenaline, to, hey, I'm attentive, I'm going to rest, relax, I'm going to be in the parasympathetic, and I'm going to have some different neurochemicals of dopamine and serotonin, which feel good, they feel calming. I want this guy to be nice and calm, which he is, but he's also got a little bit of caution. So watch, I'm just going to play with this attention. So now he's not attentive to me, so a pressure, he's attentive, I release. And then I want to see, can I draw? Nope, I lost his attention, so pressure, 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 and then when I get attention, release. And I just want to do this over and over and over, because if you're not attentive to the thing you're wanting to change, when I'm looking to change his behavior from being cautious to being calm and confident, we both have to be laser attentive. Like I can't do this and look and talk to you. Does that make sense? Like if I'm looking at you and I'm like, well, I'm going to get his attention, and I'm really working to get his attention. Where's my attention? Does he know where my attention is right now? Oh yeah, he's like, dude, I'm going to grab a free snack. Like that guy is just checked out. So I'm going to go do what I want to go do. Our attention, our awareness, and I mean this for us humans too, biologically, neurochemically, we're all talking the same thing. So whatever you want to change in your life, you got to get your awareness on it. You got to be aware of it. And that can be scary. To actually take in whatever that scary thing is in life and be like, you know what, I want to fix this shit. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this shit running me. I want to run it. Get ready, buckle up. It's a fun ride. Self-work is one of the hardest things you'll ever do. So I've been on my self-work journey for about 15 years, and I'm still scaring the hell out of myself. So, all right, Back to horses. So, attention. So right now, where's his attention? Yeah, right there at the feed, where it should be. So I'm going to come in and just ask with a little bit of pressure, and I'm just going to, I'm using some sight trigger here to just see what I can do to gain his attention. And so I'm going to watch for him to turn and look at me. Hey, bud. So I'm just watching that eye. What can I do to help him draw himself towards me? Maybe I come up here. There, we got to look. All right, I want to just relax and release. I'm going to watch these ears. I like these soft ears, meaning they're not alert. If they're up and too alert, then he's listening and looking for things to be cautious about, but I like these soft ears. Body language and how I stand and where I walk, how close I am, where my shoulders, hips, and toes point, all mean a lot to this guy. And I'm not going to talk too much, but if you guys watch my feet, watch my shoulders, my hips, and my toes, you can feel where I'm projecting or sending my energy. Right? And how I'm pacing and walking with him and where I'm standing in his body. These guys are engineering masters, man. Right? How many times have you reached out to get that lead rope and they're like, oh, you're close, but look at my human trying to go, oh yeah. Right? They know exactly where that is. They're really good at reading our body language. So I'll save somebody's camera. Hey, bud, be attentive over here to me. Here we go. There we go. All right, so we'll play with this attention. So I'm going to get serious for a minute and really work on attention. So when he's attentive to me, nothing's going to happen. When he's not attentive, like right now, something's going to happen. Oh, all right, right there, nothing's going to happen. Can I get him so attentive to me that I can walk all the way in without him leaving? Right, because if he's leaving, then his awareness left me, and he's going somewhere else out of caution, out of self-preservation. So approach, I get eyes, I want to release. And eventually, I'll be able to draw him, because he's like, dude, it sure feels good to be attentive. Like, what is it about that? It looks good. Maybe it's a t-shirt. He might want my shirt. I don't know. But if I can just get his attention, and then can I get him to track with me? Right now, the answer is no. There goes his ears, there goes his attention, there goes his feet. So everything was attentive over there. I'm just going to see if I can get more important over here. So I can make some noise, I get some eyes, release. And if you can get your Mustang to walk towards you, that's a big deal. And then I lost him right there. Now I'm getting him back. I just want to get him hooked on me. Like I want him feeling good with me, feeling safe. Because if I can keep him in this range, right, in this autonomic range of some dopamine and serotonin, these are the neurochemicals required for learning. If he's too stressed and worried, his head is too high, you see the whites of their eyes, their feet are running around, they're not in a learning mode. Not for what you're trying to teach. So I want to keep him or get him in this range, but I want him very attentive. Yesterday he was pretty unattentive to me. If you were here yesterday, he was kind of tolerant, like, I'm just going to act like you're not there. Attention's going much better today. So just watch these eyes. See how I just draw him back? He was starting to leave, drew him back to me. The more I can get him wanting to be with me instead of wanting to leave me, man, we're going to have a great place. We'll have a great relationship. That's how I keep my wife around. I try to get her to want to be with me. So I'm just watching the eyes. I love those soft ears. I mean, I'm just looking at this horse from a neurochemical standpoint. Is he stressed and anxious and wanting to leave, or is he rest, relax, and wanting to stay? You know, he's way more on the rest, relax side of things. But every time he leaves, he's not lying. His attention left, so his feet leave. So if I can keep his attention and get him feeling really good about hanging out with me and get lots of this licking and chewing, then he can become so attentive to me that he'll start watching everything that I do, and we'll start building this really great relationship of how we can hang out together and be safe together. So I want to get him attentive enough I can walk up and put this halter on him. Can I do that and have him be attentive through the whole process? Maybe. I don't know. Oh, yeah, come be curious. That'll be awesome. Stretch for it, brother. Stretch for it. There you go. So what's he doing with those whiskers on his muzzles? Anybody know what they're called? If you were here yesterday, now come on. I know it's not a cowboy word. It took me a while to learn how to say it. It's not a cowboy word. Whiskers is a cowboy word. Like, I can say that. Whiskey, whiskers. All right, let's do this. Yeah, vibrissae. Some science guy made it up. I don't know. Probably the guy's name. Anyway, what are those things doing? When he reached out and was over here, what was he doing? Feeling, touching. He's like, what the hell? Right? Everything's brand new. And these guys live in the now moment. So getting him comfortable being curious would be fantastic. You see how I'm using attention now to start, can I start creating some curiosity? He leaves, I approach. He comes to me, I retreat. Oh yeah, come to me. Work with me. Don't leave. I know the food's over there. I know what you're doing. You're not the first horse. Yeah. So this can be really fun to just really start to build this attention and really start getting this in place, because if he can't keep his eyes on me, then he can't work with me. No, not near as well. Right? If they can't even look at you, that's the first thing I want to get working on. No? All right. See, the feed is still more important than me. He's not lying, right? Your horses are honest. Right now he's just saying, I'd rather nibble on that grass than pay attention. So you guys, what's your horse's job in your relationship? What do you think your horse's job is in your relationship together? What's their job? Now there's many answers. I'm looking for mine. So you're not going to have my answer, but I'd love to know what yours are. What? Your horse's job is to trust you. All right, I've heard that. Figure out what I want. Like, hey, kind of like there's a puzzle here. What are we doing? How do I help out? What else? I'm liking these. Okay, one more time. Where was that one?
Don't change gait and don't change direction.
That says the horse. Now, you guys, I'm setting you up for an answer coming from a horse trainer, right, that wants to maybe sell you something. Oh, no, I'm kidding. What is this is the horse's job according to me. This is what I learned in 13 years working with wild horses. My horse's job is to point out the holes in my horsemanship. What if we looked at our horse that way? What if everything our horse does is just a reflection of our communication and our horsemanship, and the horse is just saying, you might want to work on this shoulder out thing that I'm not doing. Right? What if your horse's job is to point out the holes in your horsemanship? What would that relationship now be like? It's going to be authentic now. Instead of my horse won't, or my horse knows better. I love hearing that, you guys, and I don't mean to poke fun at you, but your horse doesn't know better. Your horse is a reflection of your communication. End of sentence. How effective is your communication? Show me your horse and I'll show you your communication. Does that make sense? The better you are at handling horses, the better horses you will handle. It's not the horse. Invest in yourself. Get your own skills, right? Anyway, all right, back to some attention. So I want attention because I want to be able to get up and touch this guy. He's kind of already touched me. But so he's just displaying back to me the holes in my communication if I can't get up and touch him. So every time he leaves, he's just saying, hey, read me a little better, read me a little softer or something. You know, it's for me to figure out. What can I do to get this guy to be agreeable to hanging out with me? Neurochemically, you guys, I don't get too deep in the whole emotional side of the horse. I try to stay pretty science, like neurochemical, behavior driven. Not that there's not a lot of emotional, but you're just going to hear a lot from me about, I want him to feel good. You're not going to hear me say, I want him to trust me. I want him to feel safe with me. I think there's a huge difference. Because trust is a human term, and the space that trust lives in the brain is in the prefrontal cortex, and these guys' prefrontal cortex is super, super small. There's not a lot of space for trust there. There's a huge amount of space for safety. So if I can help him feel safe with me, then I can take him in Walmart and go shopping for something. But if he doesn't feel safe with me, I won't be able to lead him out of this corral. Does that make sense? To me, it's all about safety. Does the horse? So I'm always posing the question that the horse is always asking me, am I safe? And so I read his body movement. When I reach out to touch him, he turns away. His answer is, no, I'm not. In this moment, under that level of pressure, in this environment right now, today. The horse is kind of answered like my wife. I'll ask her something, and she'll be like, well, in this moment, I'm okay. Or in this moment, I'm not okay. And I take that very seriously. Same thing here. So if I reach out to touch him, I'm just watching for his answer, not can I touch him. I mean, that's somewhere in the back of my mind. But as I'm asking this question, can I touch you? The answer is yes. So he, in that moment, under that level of pressure, he felt safe with that touch. So horses will trigger off of three things: sight, sound, and touch. I've been a lot of sight, teeny bit of sound, and I'm just introducing touch. So right there he says no. I track with him a little bit. All right, we're good right there. Because I answered. I see you're leaving. I want your attention. Can I again? If he leaves and I don't answer it, then he's going to walk over there and it's a no. I want yeses. I want tons of yeses. So I want to set him up to always have a yes answer for me. And every time he gets a yes answer, I'll relieve a little bit of pressure. So let's say, can I touch you with this halter? Could be my next question. So what I'm really asking is, do you feel safe enough that this thing can touch you? That's really what I'm asking. So let's start with me. All right, now as I bring this in, see his head going up? There's the start of I don't know. So we'll be gentle, we'll slow down. How about, oh, see that right front foot move? Oh, but then his nose come out. I don't know, maybe. Kinda, sorta. Right? This can just be fun in how you're reading your horse. Their feet move on purpose. It's not an accident. He stepped backwards because he doesn't feel safe. End of sentence. Ooh, here might be some curiosity. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, those vibrissae are touching, right? This is how we're going to build some confidence. Curiosity is the bridge to confidence. If your horse isn't curious, you're going to struggle with getting him confident. Show him how to be curious, confidence flows. Man, it just comes the next thing. Now, can I bring this in? And that's as far as I got. And. Oh, we're getting in a little bit of a spot here. There we go. So he's kind of stuck in here. So we can push a little bit because he's kind of restricted on where he can go. Oh, I got attention. Could that be a good yes? Here he is. Hey, I'm stressed. I'm leaving. I'm like, hey, that's okay. I'll just come with you to here. Oh, you're attentive? How about we take a break? I'm just neurochemically wanting him to feel good. When he's attentive to me, then he'll feel more comfortable being with me. I'm almost more important than that blade of grass right there. I'm just about to draw him away. Oh, but that grass is so good. It's high altitude Colorado grass. It's just yummy. So I'm asking for attention or maybe a touch. Let's see. Head comes up a little more. I'm watching the eyes. I got a little look. Oh, back to the ground. Can you see how his little radar here, his sound sensitivity is like up? Oh, I like how that's getting soft. Nice little touch. And then I want to get out and be like, dude, that's it. There's a little bit of stress, not too much. His attention leaves. I just want to come back and ask for it, especially at this age. Now, if this is a 4-year-old, I could really be working it. There'd be a lot more, maybe some dust going on and might hear a panel clank or two if it's a 4-year-old Mustang. But I'm going to have the same approach. If you don't have your horse's attention, you're getting done a hell of a lot less than you think you are. If you've got your horse's attention and your horse is down-regulated, meaning the answer to the question, am I safe, is a yes, man, you're getting a lot done. So I just want to have a whole bunch of yes answers for him in his answer of, am I safe? So watch out. Do you see how his head, he's just like, he's working to stay with me. Let's see if we can come in here and get some more touch. Nah, it's a little too much. Yeah, let's go over here. Let's see if we can just stand right here. So now I'm watching for some attention. Oh, there. So what did he do to get the release of pressure? He's like, how about if I be attentive to you? So I'm just asking again, attention, and I'm going to retreat for a moment. Wouldn't it be cool if you could walk out in your pen, your pasture, and just get your horse's attention and have them meet you at the fence? Like they're just so attentive, their attention draws them to want to be with you. This is starting right here. I'm just getting him chemically more addicted to me than to leaving. So keep playing this attention. And I'm just using this as a little bit of a sight trigger, and I can use it for some sound if I need to, and I can use it for touch if I need to. Oh, here we go. Let's have the top shelf drugs for a cocktail. I love yawns. Yawns are a good release, a good space of like letting things go. There's some scientific terms for it, and I can't think of what it is right now. Nope, can't think of it. So if your horse is yawning in between sessions, this is a good guaranteed timeout for me. So if you think a lot of people think, oh, if your horse is yawning and you're not doing the work, then your horse is in charge and working you. Well, it might be just the opposite of that. Right? Give them the space. They can feel their safety. They'll work even harder for you when it's time to work, when it's time to go do the thing, because they'll feel safe about it. Think about your relationships. Think about the person in your relationships that you don't feel safe with. Their name just come into your mind, or somebody. Maybe it's from your past, right? There's a person that you just don't feel safe with. Well, you going to go out and do life-endangering events and have great self-work or try to release trauma or change beliefs in your life with that person? Hell no, you're not. You're like, no, I ain't going to be in the same room with that person. I'm not going to be vulnerable. I'm not going to be open. I'm not going to offer to change anything. Well, that's all I'm wanting to create here is a feeling of safety. I don't want this horse to love me. I'm not about creating a love relationship. That's human. I can love this horse. I'm human. I think it's out of bounds and anthropomorphic for me to want my horse to love me. Now, I know I might break a heart right there. My horse can feel super safe with me, yes. We can go do adventurous things together, yes. We can go do it safely together, yes. But as far as love me, that's human. I can love this horse, but I'm not going to believe this horse can love me. But this guy could feel super safe with me, and we could feel really good together. And I have the same thing with trust and respect. These are human terms. And I don't mean to break hearts, but I believe this, and I've told myself if I didn't believe it, don't share it in public. If I do believe it, share it everywhere. So I'm going to share it. I don't expect this horse to trust me. The brain capacity for trust to be at that depth is in the prefrontal cortex of a human, not a horse. So I can expect him to feel safe with me. I can build that. But trust is a human term. Because I can't tell this guy, hey, you can trust Sally. Go home with Sally. You'll be fine with Sally. How the hell can I tell him that? But I could tell another human that, hey, you could catch a ride home with Sally. You'll be fine with her. Respect. I don't expect this guy to respect me. He's a horse. He's going to talk and act and behave like a horse. So when I have clients ask me, say, hey, my horse isn't respecting me, what I hear them say is, hey, my communication skills are subpar and my horse is setting the boundaries for me. Fair. That's awesome. Let's just be authentic. Let's just be real. Call me up and tell me your horse is outdoing you. That's awesome. That's a great place to start. Call me up and tell me your horse is disrespecting your space or disrespecting you. I'm like, that's a human thing. You need a therapist for that. If I want him to respect my space, then I'll be a clear communicator of what my boundaries are. Same thing in your human relationships. If somebody's violating or disrespecting you, you didn't communicate your boundaries very damn good. So I just will have clear boundaries when we get to that point. Right now I'm wanting to earn my way in here and kind of hang out with him. Does that make sense? So those are my 3 big words that everybody tells me, oh, you'll lose clientele and nobody will hire you if you tell them that their horses can't love them and their horses can't trust them and their horses won't respect them.
Well, guess what? They should have a horse.
Well, you say that might not be my client then, and I'm okay with that. But if you want to build a relationship with your horse based on science and Mother Nature and instincts, let's do that. Let's go have a co-species relationship, human and horse, not try to fake it that this is a human trying to be like a horse or a human trying to act like a horse. Let's just be real on what we are, create some safety, and go do some fun things. And it's just going to start with this attention. Where are we at on time? I don't want to go over.
You've got a lot.
I got a lot of time?
Boy, you're going to be talking more and more.
All right, well, I hate being the guy that goes over on time, so even in mid-sentence, I'll just shut up when it's time.
Well, when it's a clinic, sometimes there's a period that you want to stop, but it's stopping. It's good for the horse, but because if it's a clinic, you have to keep going.
Well, and I'm pretty light on that too. Any win I can find with this dude is an awesome place to win, no matter what the hell I think I'm trying to do.
Well, no, that's true. No, that's what I mean.
So we'll play here with some more attention. I'm going to be uber focused on his attention now and not look at all of you guys. How attentive can I get him? We'll just play a game here. We'll have some fun. So if he's attentive, I'm going to do nothing. If he's not, I'll move. We'll see if he can get me to stand still. Does that make sense? Because every time he moves, if he's not attentive, and when he is attentive, I hold still. Like, there's all kinds of fun games we can play. Oh, there we go. I first did this with 2 Mustangs in my big 60-foot round pen. I had one on one side and one on the other, and I'd approach them, and this is kind of how I was figuring this out. When they looked at me, I would freeze in my tracks. And then I'd turn around and approach the one on the other side. And then when it looked at me, I would freeze. It took about 15 minutes, and both those horses had me stuck in the middle, and every time I look at them, they would look at me. And then I was like, well, I can't move now. Like, it was a fun game that we were playing, and they were standing like this, just staring at me. But it really taught me the value of this attention. So now look, I mean, that's pretty attentive. Look how low the head and neckline is. In his autonomic system, his body language is soft ears, soft eyes, his muzzle isn't all tight, his neck isn't tight, his head is down. This is him saying, hey dude, I'm chilling. I'm in the parasympathetic nervous system. I'm resting, I'm relaxing. I'm restoring and I'm releasing. Like this is where we need to be to heal, to make changes. So all right, I got his attention. Now, can I approach? Can we come and hang out and stay attentive? So we'll kind of play with that. I'll see if I can draw some attention. So if I come over here, what if I come over here? All right, we lost him. So I want to build. No. I'm almost draw him away from his buddy over there. Look how soft and relaxed that eye and those ears. I mean, this, right? We're dating. Like, this is the beginning of a relationship. How does trauma get built? You do shit too fast, too hard, without any communication. All right, so if I want to have a lasting relationship with this dude, then let's start building it here. You know, let's get things relaxed and feeling good. And he's relaxed and feeling good. This is a very down-regulated behavior. For him to express and show this behavior with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 5-ish people, predators standing here looking at him with one inside. I'm just changing his neurochemistry. I haven't trained anything. I've just clearly, consistently communicated to him that if you'll be attentive to me, you'll feel good. Yesterday, he was leaning on the fence with his head through the fence to his buddy, right? That felt better. Is this progress? Heck yeah. But I better wake him up or he's just going to sack out and just be like clear asleep here. So now the next thing, can I draw some attention? So I'm going to, or can I draw him to come with me? So I'm going to come in with a little more pressure. So like, hey, big scary grizzly bear's coming in here to hang out and say hi. So his head's coming up, his feet are moving, kind of hang out. I'll see about how much pressure can he take. I'm aware of the water tank back there. Right about there, he's going to touch. And oh, look at him hanging out with me. Would that be cool to say, hey, dude, thank you. Put your head down, lick and chew. Have that blade of grass. Right, so here's some pressure, and attention will release it. Here's some pressure, and attention will release it. Here's some pressure, and attention will release. Oh, do you see he's almost leaning forward? Here's some pressure. Oh, here we go. Come on, walk with me. Good boy. Here's some pressure. How much can you take? Look how low his head is. So I see a lot of people trying to kind of, yesterday I snuck the halter on if you were here, and I called it out. I said I snuck it on him. But if I was going to teach this guy how to be haltered, I'm going to approach him like this. That's big, like, I've already got his attention. We're already in a learning space. So like, hey, dude, can I approach you like this? Was that way better than running away? Hell yeah. Why did he do that? Why was curiosity activated instead of caution? Safety and attention, right? Did I tell him, have I been showing him to be attentive? And that will get the release. So can I even get him to be attentive to this lead rope and say, hey, there's a release? Could I show him that there's enough releases that he'd put this halter on himself if I just positioned it correctly? Damn right I can. Because he's just looking for the release. So I can just set him up with a whole bunch of puzzles to find releases. Once I get him conditioned that down regulation is where the release is, then he'll start looking for it. So here we come. We'll try this. Right? Hand on each side of his face. That's a big deal. What does he say? How about I be attentive? How about I be curious? How about I release and say, you bet? So can I reward curiosity? Was that a reward of curiosity? Did curiosity make the pressure go away? So when he feels pressure, would it be cool in his mind to go, well, hell, I better go be curious? That's way better than, oh shit, a plastic bag. All right, big guy, let's come in here again. Hand on each side. We'll see how far I can go. Yep, attention will get the release. So we'll play this game now. Attention will still get the release, but there's just a bigger sight trigger. Let's get the rope out here too. So all right, here we go. Big scary guy gonna come in and try to put a halter on you. All you gotta do is be attentive. I'm gonna push a little more. There, he come back. See how he left and he kind of come back? So what if I reward that a few times, and then what if he doesn't leave? What if he decides, I'll just hang out and be attentive? Pressure's over here too. Yep, attention in the middle and it'll go away. Yeah, you can walk over here with me. You lost me? How about some pressure? I want to see, in my mind, I'm thinking, can I get my hands, behind his nose? Ooh, good, curious. What about this side? You want to check this side? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, what about this side? Don't forget, this side might be something. Yeah, what about this side? You guys see how I'm working with his side triggers? Like, hey, here's scary stuff here. Oh, now there's scary stuff here. Oh, there's scary stuff on both sides. And it's going to come in and touch. Oh, and you didn't die. Yeah. See what little I have to do to just grab his attention back? Like he starts to leave and I just put up some pressure for him to run into. All right, let's see. Can I come around? You want to check out this side? How about over here? Can I get some curiosity going? Well, there's another little touch. And what about over here? Maybe this is the end that's going to get you. Maybe it's this end. Maybe they're both going to get you together. Oh, now you're in a spot. So right now I got stuff on both sides. He's being attentive, curious. He's doing awesome. And I pushed it a little too far, right? But did I ruin this horse?
No.
Oh, but you went too far, cowboy. You went past his comfort zone. No, it's how you got to know where the edge is. If you don't know where the edge is in your life, you're not living. Like I got bail money in my pocket all the damn time. You never know when you're going to need it, when you're in a good time. You got to know where the edge is. I'm all about finding the edge. Find the edge and then just back down from it. If you never know where the edge is, you'll never go big enough. And these horses that we all learn under pressure. See this awesome little dance we're doing right here? How about we win right there? Whew, lick and chew, head down. Love it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Change happens under pressure. I'm going to break some more hearts. Not with treats. I said it. I have a lot of people start my online coaching program and they use treats, and I'm fine with you using treats, just not during my program. Because I want you to understand how the horse really operates, not off of treats. Because it's not the same. Like I want you to know what's going on inside. I want you to feel the horse. I want you to recognize your pressure, your release. I'm giving this guy a ton of treats. Every time I release is a treat. Every time he licks and chews is a retreat. Every time he puts his head down is a treat. Every time his ears soften is a retreat. Every time he looks at me is a treat. There's a natural pharmacy inside here that is never ending. And I want all of my stuff to work out there, under pressure. Coming down some shitty trail with a string of pack horses and a bunch of client dudes that don't know how to ride, bouncing around on your horse. And I need my horse to keep his shit together and get that guy off the freaking mountain. And to do it without any treats. Like, we just got to get this guy back down. Like, let's do this. Treats are fun. I'm not saying don't give your horse treats. Just know that it's more for you than it is for them. All right, big guy. So, I got talking, and he was like, I'm out of here. I forgot I was paying attention.
Thank you, by the way. I just want to say thanks. You're doing a great job.
I know, I say all the things the other trainers don't want to say to some degree. All right, we're going to let him snack for a minute. I need a drink of water, and this is my cue. This is what I do to the audience when I need a drink of water and I need a break. I'm like, let's have a couple of questions. Let's ask some questions from the audience right now, and then I quietly go over and be like, oh, man, would you hand me my water bottle right there while we're waiting for this question? And then while I'm waiting, I drink my water, and somebody's got a question. Over here, Dennis.
When you work, do you see yourself working with two horses, the left and the right? Are you consciously working on that?
So the question is, do I see myself working with two horses, like a right side and a left side? No. It's one brain, it's one horse, it's highly myelinated, it's highly connected together, but it's just as right-sided and left-sided as you might be or as I might be. So my neuroscientist friend that told me about all of this, he gave me a challenge. He's like, start doing things with your left hand, West, and you'll see. Man, I'm super awkward with my left side of things because I was always right-handed. So if we always do work on one side of the horse, we're going to create a very one-sided horse. Yes.
All right, that's what I'm getting at.
Yep.
I'm not getting into any.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. If you only, not a lot of client horses. By the time they come to me, they've had owners for 2, 3, 5, 8, 10, 15 years, whatever, that only work with the horse, on the left side. So the horse is kind of sketchy and a little edgy on the right side. We make them that way. They don't come from the factory, right side or left side. Well, they can kind of go back and forth, but we make them whatever they are. The horse you have is the one that was built. Build a better horse. That's all I'll say. There's ways to do it. Sometimes you can luck out and buy a better horse, but my money's on building a better horse. Be a better builder.
So you work on leading and everything on the right side, not only the left side?
Both sides. When I'm starting them, I start on the right side of the horse because I know that's where the side it'll get the least. So I introduce everything and start on the right side, and I do way more on the right, just because that's the less that they'll get over time. But I just want them conditioned. I mount on both sides, get off both sides. Sometimes I get off over their head, sometimes I get off over their butt. I crawl under from the left. I crawl under from the right. I crawl between the back legs, crawl between the front legs. I have no boundaries. I'm like the worst first date your horse will ever have at my ranch. Like, we're going to get it on. We're going to find everything. We're going to dive in.
So I have a question. So there was a point when he was very curious about the halter and he touched it, right? Correct?
Okay, so she's saying at a point when he was very curious about the halter and he touched it. Okay.
Would you have, if you were at home with this animal, would you have stopped there?
I do exactly here that I do at home. I have no difference.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not impressing anybody. I give two shits less.
Okay.
I'm here having fun on a Saturday in Westcliffe, Colorado, in a pen with a Mustang, and I'm just having fun and do what I do.
So it's more about
Is that?
depending on, what you want. I mean,
If I
wonder if I'm not saying you. What if a person keeps going and then it becomes more of
So the question is maybe if you keep going and going and going, how do you find a good way to end? Is that?
yeah, because you're on a time, it's like 1 hour slot.
Okay, but so as a clinician on that side of things, like I want to do best for this horse. So in my mind, like what's best for this horse? If I could teach this horse how to be attentive to a human the time I'm here, that's a great gift. Because that's what he's going to need for whatever happens next. Rather, I can go in and get a halter on him, pick his feet up, touch his tail, rub his butt, whatever. Maybe I can. But what's the best value for this dude? To be able to look at a human and go, are we okay? Like if I can get that in place, that he's like, I could start with that, then he can, something can go on. Does that make sense?
No, definitely. So at what point would you stop, Wes?
Anywhere in here could have. Like, yeah, because stopping on a bad note, it is a thing, but I want to stop on the same bad note 10 times in a row and you've effed it up.
Yeah. Right.
Stop on a bad note 1 time, 2 times, 3, you're starting to put a pattern together. 4, 5, 6, call me fast. 7, 8, 9, 10, you just made a thing.
Right.
It can be undone. It's not forever. That's probably the biggest thing I get. Well, and when it's on a bad thing or I get bucked off, you got to get back on. Hell no, if you don't feel like getting on, don't get on. Good Lord. Lay there in the dirt and breathe for a few minutes. Holy hell. That horse gives 2 shits whether you get back on or not. He's back over the trailer. So you got to end on a bad note consistently. And some of you are damn good at it. I was damn good at it for a long time. I've gotten better at ending on a good note consistently. But I only found that out by doing it the other way. That's called learning.
Is there any clue that gives you like, okay, he's done, we need to stop?
You can get to a point of diminishing returns. That sounds like what you're asking. And I know exactly where that spot is. I've gone way beyond it many times. And so I can kind of feel where that's at. And for a young horse like this, dude, he could be totally done. Like, this has been awesome. He doesn't need anything. He already knows how to be a horse. So the diminishing returns, I went past that when I was trying to agendaize and check my boxes and do the things, is when I would push past that. Not knowing that slowing down sooner, I would get done faster. But I've since learned that principle. And so slowing down sooner or slowing down faster is where the sweet spot is.
That's like yesterday when you snuck the halter on. You knew you snuck the halter.
Yeah.
But obviously you don't want that to be the norm.
Well, it all depends on the situation. So for me,
You sound like somebody else.
if I need to get a halter on a horse, I'm going to sneak the damn halter on a horse and get it done for whatever might need to happen in that moment. If I've got an hour and we're going to teach this horse how to be haltered, that's an entirely different context. But if this horse is whatever, and we got to sneak it in and get it done, then okay. But I don't want to sneak it on 10 times in a row.
Right. No, I get that.
Okay.
I understand.
A certain progression of groundwork that you leave, I mean, after you start haltering,
So
feeding, that kind of thing, or
So the question is, do I have a sequence or a program from starting to riding? Yes, absolutely. We're going to talk about the horse on sight, sound, and touch. I want to get all of that turned down. So we get their attention. We get them to back up and stand still. Immobility without fear is the term. Watch your horse. Can your horse be immobile without fear? Or what environment does it take for that to happen? What environment does that not work in? That's just the question, am I safe, to the horse. If the horse's answer is yes, I am safe, they'll stand still. If the answer is no, their feet are moving. So when you take your horse to the vet or the farrier shows up and their feet start moving, the horse is just answering the question of am I safe? No. Doesn't mean the farrier's going to hurt him. It's not about the farrier, it's just stimulus. There's a sight, there's a sound, there's a touch that is happening. And my feet are moving because my internal system started to ramp up and Mother Nature says flee further, faster, forward for relief. So I'm just being instinctive and being a horse. But when we can pause that and have immobility without fear, that's something to build on. And so that's what we start every horse all through my coaching program. The first thing that you're going to do with your horse, the thing you got to back up and stand still. And can you have your horse stand still for 3 minutes? Just a simple little question. 3 minutes isn't magical. Unload your horse at the vet, at the trailhead, at the farrier, at the corrals, wherever, and just can you stand still for 3 minutes? Question to ask. Go home and find out. If not, then hey, your horse is pointing out some holes in your horsemanship. Okay, where are we at on time?
10 till.
10 minutes too?
Yep.
Any other questions, thoughts? I might play a little more attention and then call it good, but is anybody going to think that it's just horrible that I didn't get a halter on this horse?
Not at all. Because we know you can. Yeah, if you have to.
Thank you. Thank you. The only variable in my horsemanship is the availability of time to me. So I was at the bottom of the Grand Canyon with a string of pack horses that we packed a film crew in to do this film in the Grand Canyon. And at the bottom of the Grand Canyon is this it's called the Silver Bridge. Has anybody been there? Okay, there's the Silver Bridge. I know it's not made for livestock. This is the hiker bridge. Well, it's structured, but this is the hiker bridge. The livestock bridge is 2 miles upstream, and it's 8 feet wide. It's got huge side rails, solid deck that you can't see through. But I'm at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, and I don't want to go 2.5 miles up and 2.5 miles back. I'm trying to go out. Here's this silver bridge between me and out. The only thing between me and getting out of here sooner is a narrow bridge suspended 80 feet above the Colorado River with corrugated metal that you can see through. Guess what I decided to do?
Go across it.
I'm like, I wonder if I can.
And you're still here.
So I stripped all the tack off because I couldn't fit. The tack was too wide. Took all the pack gear off. I humped it across the bridge on my back for 5 horses. Got it all to the other side. And then went back and started to talk my horses into coming across that bridge. Did we do Grand Canyon suspended bridge training? No. Did we clearly communicate with safety? Yes. Did we cross the bridge? Yes. Without any issue? Yes.
How long did that take you?
That's where I come up with this thing. The adrenaline is free. Man, I was freaking cranked walking across that bridge. Because you know what happened? Have you guys seen the movie Unbranded? Did you see when they went across that bridge? When I saw that, I was like, life goals. I want to do that. I want to do that. Well, here's the funny thing. When we went down with the film crew, we went across that bridge, the stock bridge. So it got filmed, and all my Mustangs are going across it on film, and I'm like, okay, check, done, right? Did it. But then when we were coming out the other side, I was just like, oh, but Ben didn't bring his Mustangs across the Silver Bridge. So once we got done, man, I sent him a picture. I was like, dude, you missed the real bridge. But anyway, he didn't think it was funny as I did, but it was fun. I got to ride with Ben and the crew when they were doing that movie, so I kind of know him. I can tease him, but it was fun. Why was I telling you about the Silver Bridge?
Because of safety and traffic.
Oh, those horses just had safety. I just communicated effectively, step forward.
Except for your heart rate was way up.
Oh,
And they could feel it. So did you halter walk them across?
I've let them, I got them on the bridge one at a time. It took me about an hour and a half to get the first one on. We just had to wait for the chemistry for her to get down regulated enough that she would step into that open bridge and then get on. And then we loaded the other 5 on behind her. And then we started walking across that bridge. And it was awesome. The adrenaline was cranking. The adrenaline is free. And it was awesome until we got about 2/3 of the way across. And then, when you got 5 Mustangs walking in sync across a suspended bridge, that starts happening. That starts happening. All of a sudden, the bridge starts having this little bouncy wave to it. And then, when the freaking National Park helicopter flew from the guest ranch and flew over and out, I was just like, oh, we're about to find out right now. Nothing happened. They're fine. They weren't triggered by sight, sound, and touch. They were mentally capable. They'd never done that before. So what I'm saying is the horse you build is the one you're going to have. I just built some awesome, confident horses that could do those things with an effective communicator. Does that mean I could have handed them to somebody else and said, hey, lead them across this bridge? Not unless they communicate according to the horse. Does that make sense? Anyway. So he's kind of been shut off for a minute. We're going to be done. I think we're done with time. I don't want to. We're done. Questions, thoughts, comments? You're full of shit, cowboy. You can throw those at me. I'll take them. Tell you guys, I had to. When I first started talking in public in front of people with horses, it was scary as hell. You ladies are scary. I want to tell you. You get the right lady on the top row in the back with her little freaking sun hat on, asking those really weird ass questions. And you're the guy standing there and everybody's like, that was a dumbass question, but let's see what he has to say. I had that lady one time, about 300 people in the audience, and she asked that question, totally not related to nothing we were doing. And she asked that really weird question. And man, I'm so grateful that she brought that up, because she just taught me a huge life moment for myself. I don't even remember the question, but I processed it for a minute, and then I just looked up at her and I just said, I don't know. I don't know is an answer too. Right? And so that's the only way. I ask for questions like I'm opening the book. I'm like, here I am, shoot me full of holes. Right? If I don't have an answer for everything, then I don't feel good out here. So I do have an answer for everything. I don't know, and no is an answer too. So that's how I can feel comfortable standing out here. So thank you guys. Loved having you, and we'll play more with some attention, but this guy's going to do well. Anyway, he needs somewhere to go. So.
Well, I was on the ground. It's a no. Caleb said it's not good. He says it's going to be an issue. Good job. He asked how old he was, and I said 1. And I'm assuming I'm right. Are they 1? Yeah.
Lack of left thing and right thing.
Well, thank you for your smiles and your laugh out there. I could tell. It's like, oh, he's hearing what I'm saying. Oh. I don't want to be cocky. If anything, I want to be educational entertainment. But
You know, would they think that edge is crazy? But you gotta go there.
yeah, that's where all my drugs are.
What's that grizzly bear gonna do to my horse?
Yeah, it's like, oh, there's the line. Okay.
I got a kid that works on.
Sky.
We got Wildflower on the south side of the barn. They're doing sandwiches. They still got all sorts of hot dogs and bagels.
Well, I'll get this to him.
You know, these grizzly bears are just moving the cows out. They all start.
Dude, I don't know.
And so his horses, just like you said, they don't trust you. You're walking out.
Yeah, buddy.
He's had times where they had to jump off, and that horse just stands there.
Dude, I would lose it with a bear. I have bear issues, so I would be like, now I'm really thirsty. Hey, thank you for talking and asking questions, and you too, and everybody. And let me
So
maybe pick on your talk a little bit, but
I gotta tell you, I was at a clinic not long ago, and the guy was talking about the same type of thing. He had 3 different clinics. This lady, the first clinic she came to, and she had a dress.
yeah.
You need your microphone.
Oh, yes, right here. Scott.
Sorry, man, I stopped.
I know. Thank
He
you.
was coming to me. I was like, I'm stopping.
You got it, dude. You got it.
So this lady comes in this dress. He says, "Who comes to a clinic with a dress on?" And so he says, "This woman is just, she's all into dressage. So all these questions about dressage." And-
Don't snap.
Oh, I know, but just anyway, he says anything I said, she just was, no, that's not way it's done. She's
Yeah.
telling him.
Yeah.
So then he says, oh, good, she won't show up again.
Yeah.
Next clinic, she's there again. Same kind of, but she had her jeans
dress
on
on?
and everything. No dress. And this woman was there at the clinic
Yeah.
that I was at. So she's been at his clinic I don't know how many times. So the second time she shows up, same kind of stuff. Asking, well, don't you do it this way or don't you do it this way? So the third time she shows up, and she shows up with her horse because she was auditing before.
Okay.
And he says, oh, didn't think you'd be coming back.
Let's pay to play.
And she says, well, it didn't work. Whatever she was doing wasn't working.
Oh.
She's like 75 years old. She was at the last clinic that I was at.
Oh man. Well.
But the story is just too much.
Yeah.
You just got to have all kinds of stories.
Oh gosh.
So my story is, there's a bunch of dressages that were pretty high level who never actually took their horses out of the arena.
Mm-hmm.
And I was suggesting that they do a real horsemanship clinic, like do goofy things with their horse.
Yeah, like off balance a little bit.
And like jump their horse over a hay bale. And they had more damn fun and really loosened up. And I did see them go out of the arena a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just really enjoyed that whole process with the dressage group, with the high-level dressages that are hothouse flower horses, because they weren't exposed. They weren't really trained from the ground up correct.
Anyway,
they push a button and they buy them for $60,000, $80,000. Get on them, push a button, and then
Somebody
get
else.
out.
Oh, I'm gonna turn this camera off. Huh?
It's